Today's video is about how I made my maternity wardrobe. I wanted to focus on a few key elements when I thought about designing the wardrobe itself. First of all, it has to be comfortable. Anyone who's been pregnant knows that there are plenty of discomforts that come with being pregnant, and so we don't need to add tight or restrictive clothing to the list of reasons why we don't want to get out of bed in the morning. So it's got to be comfortable. I also really wanted it to be functional, and by that I mean I wanted to create pieces that could be mixed and matched and worn together. But also I wanted to create pieces that could potentially facilitate other pieces from my wardrobe that are not maternity related. As a nice high-waisted skirt that shows off the bump a little bit can then be worn with a multitude of, simple basic tops and like the one I am currently wearing at the moment. And so I actually found it quite easy to mix some of these items into my professional work wardrobe and really facilitate that so I didn't have to buy anything new. The other thing I wanted to consider when I was designing the wardrobe was how I could potentially use and wear these pieces beyond my maternity period. As I said before, I bought maternity dresses and other things for my earlier pregnancies, but none of them look good or would be nice to wear after the maternity period, and I didn't want that to be the case. Here, especially if I put all this effort into making these new clothes, I wanted to give some thought to design and function and how they might be wearable postpartum, so while I'm nursing the baby for the next few months, and then potentially even beyond that. So I do try to go into some of those elements here as I'm explaining my wardrobe. I will say that the audio on this video is pretty poor. I have ordered a microphone from Amazon. It has not yet arrived, but I am today 39 weeks pregnant. Today is a Monday. I am due on Friday. And so in the interest of time and getting this video edited and posted before I go into labor, I am just going to go ahead with the equipment and the quality of the video that we have. And so I do apologize in advance, and I do hope that you will come back, and I promise that subsequent videos will be of a slightly higher quality. Also, on that point of being 39 weeks pregnant, I had intended to do my hair and get a little bit more dressed up and presentable for y'all for this video, but let's be honest, I don't have the time or energy for that right now. So we're just getting on with it as we are. So the first thing I'll point out is the outfit that I'm wearing. This is actually what I made most recently out of all of these clothes. But this skirt is something that I've made a few times, and I absolutely love it. This one is made out of a ribbed, stretchy fabric, which is super comfortable. And I actually made this as a set, so it's a skirt with a kind of crop top for breastfeeding afterwards, or after the baby is born. So the top provides quick and easy access for nursing. But this skirt, although I made this version of it recently, I wore a version of it, this one actually in particular, very often to work while I was still working, because you could really dress it up or down. I work in a bank, in an office, and I would wear it with regular tops, not even maternity tops, just regular tops. I can put a blazer on over it. It's super high-waisted and covers my bump, and so then kind of makes the rest of my wardrobe, tops and blazers and everything, pretty functional. This shirt I wore a lot when it was a bit cooler. It's now the end of May and getting a bit warmer. But this top I wore often to work actually. It's a bit see-through, but not too risque, and with a high-waisted skirt like this one actually looks quite chic. This top is actually the Kiana Banola turtleneck pattern adapted to be maternity. So I made some adjustments, particularly around the belly area, and adding additional fabric there to make it a maternity version, but it started out as the Kiana Banola turtleneck. I probably wore one of these 5 pieces most days for the last few months, so super functional. This skirt is actually the same pattern as both this one and the one that I'm wearing. It's made in a similar fabric that's ribbed. It's a ribbed cotton with a little bit of elastic in it. And I made this cute little crop top to go with it. And I wore this on Easter. So this top is actually not necessarily only maternity. So it is just sheared on the top, sheared, with a little ruffle at the bottom. The hope is that I can continue to wear this even after maternity, but it looks quite cute because it covers the bust and then kind of flares out over the bump. This shirt is a wrap shirt. So if you take these down, you can see this is a wrap shirt. I self-drafted this one. I put a lot of effort into this shirt. It's fully lined. I put bias binding around the armholes. I even put a little strip of tulle in the shoulder to give it a little bit more volume. It's got a bit of a gathered shoulder here to give it a little bit more interest. And yet, after all of this work, I don't love this top. I have actually made some adjustments to my original pattern and am planning to make the adjusted version to see if I can make it something that I'm more likely to wear. The idea behind this shirt was that it would be a nursing top because it would be a wraparound and would be easy to kind of open up. And I may still use it for that, but I didn't wear it much during my maternity. It is very high-waisted, so it goes well with the high-waisted skirts, and it's completely functional. Just something missing there that I just don't love it. So we'll see if we can adapt the pattern and make it into something that I would wear more often. Next up we have the blues, and these are all supposed to be cozy, comfortable clothes. So first we have this smock shirt, top dress with pockets on the side. It's got a few tiers. I really enjoy wearing this dress. It's very comfortable and cozy, which was kind of the objective. Although I probably used close to 3 meters of fabric for this dress, which make it a bit heavy. And as the weather is getting a little bit warmer, I realized that I'm not necessarily going to want to wear this through the hot summer months. So if I were to do it again, I would probably take out some of the fabric in the lower tiers. It's a 2-to-1 ratio for each tier. I'd probably do it at like a 1.5. But otherwise, I'm really happy with the neckline. It's a very square neckline. And again, similar to this top, while I made it for my maternity period, it could certainly be worn ex-maternity or postpartum. Next, this is a pajama dress, kind of inspired by the Ghani dress that has these, or shirt rather, that has these little bows. I saw something similar, only in a shirt version, in Zara, I think, somewhat recently, and decided to make it myself. I made it out of this light viscose, which I had bought as just a kind of toile fabric to do a practice run on. And so this actually, I intended to just be a practice version of this dress, But then when I was finished with it, I was like, oh, that looks like a pajama dress and it's quite comfortable and light, and it almost looks like something you might be given in a maternity ward to wear. So I plan on wearing it when I'm at the hospital, hopefully next week. All right, next one is a pajama top and shorts version, similar to the prior dress with the ties. If I didn't say this before, the ties are supposed to provide access for breastfeeding. This one I'm really excited to wear. I haven't really worn it as maternity because I didn't make it maternity, I made it more for nursing. And so if I put these shorts on with this top, my belly does hang out just a little bit. But hopefully that won't be the case in a week or so. And I am really happy with this one. I do not own a serger. So I do all of my seams, either French seams, Hong Kong seams, or I use a lot of bias binding. And I try to make things look as clean as possible, both on the inside and the outside. And I feel like I really did that with these pajamas. I used a felt seam on the side, which is something I haven't done before. And I am happy with these. We'll see what they look like on, how functional they are this week. And then last but not least, I have a few dresses that I made. The first one, here, let's start with this one, was the practice version. This, like the black top, is an adaptation from the Kiana Bonolo mock neck or turtleneck pattern. So I took the turtleneck pattern, I adapted it to have extra space for the belly, and then I drew out a skirt on it. And I actually, I made this out of a kind of cheap, lightweight jersey fabric and intended it just to be the practice version, but I wore it around the house a lot, and it was quite cozy. So that was nice. And that was meant to be the practice or 12 version for this dress, which is a dress that I created for the purposes of the office, or if I ever had to go out for dinner. And this dress is actually two pieces, which are connected at the side seams. So the under piece is just a simple kind of bodycon strapless black dress that's made out of a kind of a mid-weight jersey. And then I have this kind of mesh over the top of it in a mock neck design. I like this dress. I didn't wear it quite as much as I would have hoped because it got a bit warm. And I only made this towards the end of my time at work. And when I'm not at work, there wasn't much reason to wear this. But I would wear it with a blazer over the top or a sweater. So while this portion of it looks a bit see-through, it wasn't as risque as it might look on the hanger. And then, last but not least, I made this dress. And this one I really like a lot. Again, I made it for maternity, but not exclusively maternity. So it's fitted at the top, it has adjustable straps, and then it has a real nice loose open back. So with the belly, or with the bump, there's plenty of room, there's plenty of flowy fabric, and it's really comfortable and tight around the bust and then kind of loose everywhere else, but equally can be worn when there's no bump. So I am looking forward to wearing this one more this summer. And there's one other one other shirt that's a sleeveless version of this shirt that I wore, that I made in a white kind of stretchy cotton that I cannot find at the moment. I don't know if it's in the laundry. I did not see it there. I do not know where it is. But in any case, I think altogether I counted, I made 16 pieces for my maternity wardrobe. Well, thank you for watching and see you next time.